Okay, notifying people. Perfect. Oh, hi guys. Hi everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. And during this live, I'm going to be sharing how your relationships transform when you stop drinking. So as you log on, say hello in the comments so I can say hi back to you all. Hello, hello. So today we're doing again 2 live videos, one on TikTok, one on Instagram. So I have 2 phones going right now. And this video, I'm really excited to share this because when I stopped drinking, one of my biggest fears was that I would not belong. And this goes with all my relationships, but most specifically with my relationship with my now fiance and my friends. I thought that they wouldn't want to hang out with me anymore. And I didn't feel like I'd fit anymore. So before we go into this, it's really important to realize that the fear of rejection or not belonging is something that's deeply programmed into every single one of us. So since we are born, what happens is we try to fit. We try to find acceptance from our parents and then from our teachers, our classmates, our friends, society at large, our coworkers, and we do anything that we can to feel like we belong. And this is because back when we were cavemen and cavewomen, I know this sounds like a long time ago, but back in those days, if you were thrown out of the tribe, that would mean fewer social advancement opportunities, fewer reproduction opportunities, and if you were thrown out of the cave, that might mean you become lion's food, which might mean death. So that's why that's a very real fear that's programmed into every single one of us, because we're programmed to fit and belong and to do anything we can to be like those around us. So because drinking is something that is socially acceptable, as you all know, even taking a step back from drinking can be scary because you can have this fear that you won't belong anymore. And that's a very real fear. So what I want to share with you is what I experienced on my journey, and this is very similar to what all of my clients experience as well, is at first, what's really important to do is to give yourself this space not to fit and not to belong. I know you might be like, Nicole, I don't want to do that. I understand completely. But the truth is, and I know from my journey, I was at a point in my life where I would have done anything to be happy. And drinking, it was not something as serious as alcoholism, but it was this pattern that I fell into on Thursdays and the weekends of binge drinking to numb and to cope with the parts of my life that I was dissatisfied with. So it was like a pattern that kept amplifying, and as it got more present in my life, I realized that something needed to change and it needed to start. Stopping drinking was where that change needed to happen. So when I did this at first, I had that fear that I wouldn't belong, but I knew that it was so important to do this for myself, to stop drinking, because I just wanted to be happy, and stopping drinking was that first step. So when I stopped drinking, I first did 6 months of no drinking. And in the first 3 months, I worked with a mentor. Well, thank you, Wilson and Phil and Lewis. You guys are so sweet. So within those first 3 months, I focused on my healing with a mentor. I worked on releasing the trauma, the shame, the guilt that I was holding on to that was ultimately keeping me stuck. And what I found during that time, I gave myself permission not to belong. I gave myself permission to create almost this like alternate universe for myself where I didn't have to show up for social commitments. I could create this space for myself to heal and really make it a priority of mine. So this meant not showing up to social opportunities, social events, there it is. It meant not making myself go to social events. It meant that I could spend this time healing and going slow. So within those 3 months, I allowed myself to remove myself from different social occasions and to really heal. And what I did, and what I know to be true for the journey and how I help my clients, is the knowing that you are stepping into this special healing world for yourself. For me, it was like Nicole's world, right? And this is not in a selfish way. It's in a way of giving yourself so much love. Because when you actually create that time for yourself and the space to do what you need to do, you can come back into your relationships in a really strong way. So if you're stopping drinking, give yourself the permission not to belong and for it to be okay. And knowing once you do the work, focus on your healing and release what isn't serving you, then you can come back. Then you can come back to your relationships, to your way of being and showing up in the world as a new and best, most aligned version of yourself. Because let's face it, you like yourself more when you stop drinking. And this massively feeds into every single one of your relationships. So what I found after I took that time to heal and really focus on what I needed, I started to be more social again. And I started to see more friends again and just meet more people again. And I realized that I was showing up in a different way. And what I valued in relationships shifted drastically. Now, a lot of people ask, they're like, okay, are you friends with people who drink? Yes, it's kind of hard to avoid, let's be honest. My fiance, for example, he is a social drinker. So when we go out with friends, he has a drink or two, and I'm totally okay with that. But what I realize is what I value most in my life. And I'm an entrepreneur, a business owner. I love being active, traveling, being outdoors. And my friends have those same values. So I realized when I stopped drinking, took the time to heal, what's actually important to me. So I'm building friendships around those values. Yes, drinking was something I used to do with my friends in the past, but as you're probably aware of, that is no longer part of our relationships. I still go to bars, I still go out with friends dancing, and they might have some drinks, but I have a non-alcoholic beer or sparkling water, and I still have so much fun. So you can come back out to your relationships, and this gives you the opportunity to create them in a way that is most beneficial for both you and the other person in the relationship. And when doing this, I know I had the fear that some of my friends would reject me or not want to spend time with me anymore. And if I'm being honest, some of my friendships did fall away. But what I know for certain is that those friendships, they were ready to fall away. They had such an important part in my life for, yes, a certain period, but our time together was complete. It was complete in a gorgeous way, and it was time for us to go our separate paths. So it's so incredibly powerful to realize that you can release the relationships that are no longer aligned for you. And what this does is it allows you to create space for new relationships and new individuals to come into your life that are more aligned with where you are going. So with the journey of sobriety, things will shift. And this is true for your relationships. But I believe they will shift in the best way, because when you are showing up as the best version of yourself, you attract those types of relationships into your life. Now, with my relationship with my fiance, we were social drinkers, right? Going out in the weekends. And I thought he thought I wouldn't be fun anymore. And that kind of scared me. But honestly, our relationship is so much better. And a big part of that is because I am so much better. I am happier. I feel good about myself. I feel good in my body. I trust myself. And this 100% benefits our relationship in every single way. Like I found when we were drinking on the weekends, we'd have like these stupid petty little fights over nothing just because we were tired. We would waste our days hungover. And now things are so much better. We're creating this life we both love. He has a business. I have a business. We have the most unique lives I know because we are being proactive and creating our life from a place of clarity and a vision. And we keep taking those steps forward. And we love ourselves so much. And we keep working on ourselves as individuals and coming together and growing in the most beautiful ways possible. So I wanted to share with you just some of the things that you can go through when it comes to relationships and stopping drinking. The most important thing, again, I want to share with you is that your relationship with yourself, it impacts every area of your life. And you like yourself more when you stop drinking. So if you have had the nudge or urge to stop drinking, this is your go ahead. I'll give yourself permission to release the pattern and habit and allow yourself to truly step into the best version of yourself. And as a result, your relationship, every relationship in your life will get so much better. You'll become more successful, more creative, and it truly helps you unlock your potential and everything that is possible for you. And this is exactly what I hold space for in my Rebirth Mastermind. And this mastermind is absolutely incredible because it's one-to-one coaching. So you get that private, personalized attention for healing, but it's also a high-level group community. So we're all moving together towards these desired shifts in our life and creating this change at a rapid pace. And what you can create in your future as a result is absolutely life-changing when you stop drinking and see all the benefits that come from stopping drinking. All right, guys, some questions here. Clinton said, my relationship with my wife is so much better since I quit drinking. Yes, love it. I'm celebrating you. I mean, there's just so much truth to the fact that when you're in a healthy relationship with yourself, your relationships benefit. There's so much truth to that. Okay. Perfect. Joelle said 57 days for me. Amazing. I'm so proud of you. You should be so proud of yourself. It just keeps getting better and better, doesn't it? It's amazing. So as you guys join, I just finished my live about relationships. Let me know if you have any questions. I always like to stay on a little bit after just to answer some questions. I'm scrolling up. Hello everyone. Wilson, Jesus loves so much. Oh, thank you. You're doing great work. Thank you, Phil and Luis. Hope you guys are still on. So I took April, Donnan, Callie, there we go. Okay, you said, I took April off, and of course May 1 joined in, and so glad to say the break opened my eyes. Yes, the break opened your eyes, amazing. So there's many different ways you can go about this journey. So if you're right now realizing that alcohol, you've fallen into an unhealthy habit or pattern of it, there's two things you can do. You can commit to long-term sobriety, or you can take a break to move towards a healthy balance. Now, I help my clients do both. And a lot of people say, like, you're a sobriety coach, but you help people to find a healthy balance with drinking? Yes, because I believe this is your journey. And it's really important to do what's best and most aligned for you. I have several clients who I've helped to healthily reintroduce drinking back into their life. But what's most important to do is to take at least 3 months of a break. And this is why it's 3 months. Because if you're falling into patterns that are not serving you with drinking, it's important to take enough space away from them so you can gain clarity as to why you're falling into those patterns and how you can start to get out of them. And it's also important to take a 3-month break because most of us do not know how to regulate our nervous systems. This is because we're not taught how to do this. And it's so important that you find a way to regulate your nervous system because drinking is a way our society, it's a tool our society gives us to cope and numb with emotions, the parts of life we're dissatisfied with. And when you learn the tools to regulate your nervous system in a healthy way, you can give space to what's not serving you to release it. So you can move forward and those emotions and specific situations will no longer affect you. So that's so important. When you do take a break, learn the tools to regulate your nervous system because yes, stopping drinking is amazing, but that's only the first step. It's about becoming the person who can surf the waves of life, who can unlock your potential, find more intimacy and depth in your relationships. And you do that by creating an emotional intelligence and learning how to regulate your nervous system. All right, guys, a little rant there. How do you go on a first date without having a drink? Scary thought. Oh, I've been out of the dating world for some time. So my fiance and I, we met in college, so it was always just like friends first, very casual. But some of my friends are dating right now, and we actually talked about this. Think about dates you can go on that do not involve drinking. So that means don't go to a bar. You can go out to eat, but just have like a fun mocktail that you could drink or just have a non-alcoholic beer. But honestly, think about what is fun outside the bar, because if having a like healthy, sober lifestyle is important to you, maybe meeting someone for the first time in a bar, not the best environment. But so think about like things you can do that are, again, safe. Maybe you don't want to meet in the woods. That might not be a good idea. But yeah, think about a date. Maybe go to a bowling alley or go, it's been so long since I've been on a first date. I'm having trouble thinking of examples. Go to a art class or go out for ice cream. But just think about other things you can do on your first date besides going to somewhere that mainly serves alcohol. But then again, if you do go out, just order something that's non-alcoholic, and that's that. And especially if not drinking is something that's important to you, on the first note with that person, be like, yeah, I don't drink, just putting it out there, it's very important. Because it's something that's very beneficial and you do not need to hide it. Okay, yes, I do have a fiance. We're getting married in September. I'm super excited. Okay, these are great questions. So yeah, okay, so Darwin said, you're welcome, Kurt. Here's to me shooting for 3 months. Yes, 3 months. Yes, easy. It is easy. It's so easy. And when you stop drinking and like remove the pull from alcohol, it's just like, it's not even a thing anymore. It's just so much freedom. So Darwin Callie, probably saying that wrong, some of the tools you can use to help you regulate your nervous system. And these are what I help my clients with. Emotional freedom technique. This is about getting in your body and releasing suppressed emotions and past trauma that you're holding on to. And this is a mixture of cognitive psychology and acupressure. Second one is breath work. Breath work helps you to utilize your breath, which we all do automatically. Utilize your breath to release emotions that are in your body. And again, they're not serving you. So what's really important to realize is that when you have trapped emotions in your body, or just emotions, let's say there's a lot of anger in your body or anxiety. Let's say you're feeling anxious after a day of work. What happens is that emotion is created in your body and it stays in your body. Now, talk therapy is a very important part of the healing process. However, it's only one part of the healing process, because in talk therapy, we intellectually process our emotions from an intellectual level. So we process our emotion from an intellectual level. However, because our emotions are in our bodies, you have to get into your body and address your emotions from a body-based therapy. That's why I use EFT and breath work, because it allows you to actually release those emotions so you're no longer triggered from them. So essentially what that means is, yes, we can never undo or eradicate something that has happened in our past. But what we can do, and this is so powerful, is we can release the emotional attachment that we have to it. So that means if you go back and revisit a situation that happened that created a lot of blame, once you remove that emotional attachment, it won't trigger you anymore. Yes, you'll know it happened, but you won't be triggered the same way, and releasing the trigger is so powerful. Because if we keep holding on to triggers, what happens is we continue to activate those triggers and respond to them, or respond to a situation that's happening in the present moment as if we're responding to that initial situation. So what happens is we move those emotions forward with us, and they stay with us until we get into our body. Bioenergetics. Yep, bioenergetics. Yes, body work. Body work's amazing. I'm gonna write that down actually. Energetics. It sounds similar to what I work through, but there's always new methods that I love checking out. So thank you for sharing that, Kale. Kale, I like the food. Okay, Rob says you have to drink on the weekends, but not much during the week, a lot more on the weekends. Okay, so this is essentially the pattern I was in, is just drinking on the weekends, and this is what I help my clients with as well. If that's something that feels good to you, then that's totally fine. I knew that. So you drink for one or two reasons. The first reason is to celebrate and socialize and have fun with family or friends, or to cope and numb, and to suppress the parts of your life you're dissatisfied with. So, middle finger, sorry. I was drinking for coping and numbing. So that's why, even though I was just drinking on the weekends because it was used to cope and numb, it was not benefiting me, because I was falling into patterns of creating guilt, blame, and shame for doing things I wasn't proud of. And that essentially made things worse. So if your relationship is utilizing alcohol as a numbing agent, then it's important to take a break so you can heal, release, and find new ways to regulate your nervous system. And yeah, with my clients, I do help them find a healthy balance. So that is totally healthy if that's healthy for you. Mainly on your boat. Oh, I love boating. We boat a lot in the summer. Yeah, in construction, so enjoy the weekends. Good, you should enjoy the weekends. All right, guys. Rob, awesome. I'm happy that resonates. Yeah, as long as you have a healthy balance. I mean, it's totally up to you. With my clients, I help them find that healthy balance because it's really about how you relate to something. Now, I've started to share more about how I've been working with plant medicine. I know in the sobriety space, it's like, oh, that's bad. But I realized that I was moving forward in a way, putting myself in a box of what it means to be sober. I was doing what others say I should do and how I should show up. However, there are things that I want to experience in my life and things I wanted to dive deeper into, and plant medicine was one of them because I knew it had a lot of healing benefits to it. I was also diagnosed with depression. It helps with that. And it also helps to unlock your potential and really see areas in your life where you can grow and take action from. So it was over 2 years in sobriety and I wanted to do this, but at first I was like, I can't because I'm a sobriety coach. But I realized it's important to move forward in a way that's best and most aligned for me, right? I've been always putting myself in a box of what I should do based on what others say. I did that for my first career, did not like it, which is why I was drinking in an unhealthy way. And I was doing that in my business as well without really even realizing it. So plant medicine is something I use now to help me to release trauma and to gain insights of from my unconscious mind to my conscious mind so I can create these changes in my life. And using that as a healing agent feels so aligned for me, and that's what my sobriety journey is for me. I still have I do not want to do anything with alcohol, but plant medicine feels so supportive. So something I help my clients do is to realize like, okay, what is best and most alignment for you? Let's do that then. Take back your personal power to create this change in your life and to live in a way that's aligned for you. And that is the most important thing. It's not about what I say. It's not about what your friends or family say. It's not about the internet says. It's about doing what is best for you. And that is always important. So I went on a bit of a rant there. I forget where I started, but essentially as you're going on this journey, it's about looking at what's aligned for you and moving forward in a way that honors that. And for me, plant medicine, it's the right next step for me. All right, so Dawnin said, I'm going to look into your services. Awesome, so excited to hear that. I have a few offers out right now, one-to-one and my mastermind. If you have any questions, feel free to send me a message and I'd be more than happy to chat more about that. All right, have a good day, everyone. Awesome, well, thank you guys so much for joining. I will be posting this replay on my Instagram. So I have Instagram. Oh, hey, Anne-Marie. Instagram and TikTok up, going side by side. So for those of you who are on TikTok, feel free to follow me on Instagram. My name is I am Nicole Prentice. You can also find it in my link tree. I share different types of content on Instagram as well, and also share behind the scenes. So it's fun to get on that platform as well. So if you're on Instagram, come say hi there, and I'm excited to meet you guys. All right, thank you guys for joining. I'm going to end my Instagram, then I'll end this one. Okay, perfect. Bye, guys. Have a good one.